the leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome to
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Wow. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000 or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Across the globe, especially those of you coast to coast, border to border. This is yours truly, Elrod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is, yes, this morning I did check, it is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. It is Friday, Freedom Friday, Open Mic Friday, as it were. You know, for those of you who are new to the program, Fridays, I tend to like to take it a little bit lighter than the rest of the week, simply because I like to slide on into the weekend with a little bit of happiness, so you're better able to celebrate your freedom, what freedom we still have remaining. So we want to be able to enjoy that fully and thoroughly, and we know that the rest of the week can be very heavy here, and if you ever notice, as you progress in listening to the program, that you will, because you know, those of you who are listening, you will have the opportunity to become an ecclesiastite, and as you become an ecclesiastite and you understand how this program works, then you know that there are occasions when there are things that really, how do some people put it, set me off, as it were. Those kind of rants are kind of epic, really. I mean, it's full of fact, not fiction, It's full of logic and passion. And if you haven't heard one yet, just stick around. You're not going to hear one today. But if you haven't heard an epic rant yet from Rod, you will. By the way, I want to embrace some of the nick. I didn't come up with any of my nicknames, by the way. Best friend in high school nicknamed me Rod. And there are people on Facebook and Twitter and other social media that have dubbed me the Rod of Truth. I really like that one. I didn't come up with these. I don't think about that kind of stuff. Other people do. So I'm sure that there are other nicknames too that are out there that aren't quite as flattering. But that be that as it means if people are attacking you, then you know that you've hit a chord and you've pushed a button. And you don't push buttons unless you're speaking the truth, or in the case of Democrats, you're just making laws and by fiat and thrusting them upon the American people. But it is what it is. That's what I always say. But we don't have to accept what is, because we can change what is, because what is doesn't have to be reality. I know you have a lot of people out there talking about augmented reality. There's a lot of this whole stuff with the virtual reality is coming up on us pretty fast. I mean, what was that Bruce Willis movie? There was a Bruce Willis movie where the majority of people did not leave their apartment. They had these robots, these lifelike robots that went out and did everything, did their shopping, went to the office for them, while people stayed at home connected to their computer and the robot via, I guess virtual reality, I suppose. But and Bruce Willis was a human cop, right? I think he was human outside. He didn't stay locked up in his apartment, but I can't imagine society doing that. I know that a lot of people they don't like to meet anymore in person because of social media. But it's kind of we're getting to that point where the augmented reality seems to be favored than reality by a lot of people. And it's kind of sad because what is that, Second Life? That's still around, right? Second Life is that it's kind of that virtual world that everybody was waiting for when the movie The Matrix, and then later on its two very poorly written and directed successors came about. There was talk about having an online game or forum or area that was going to be like The Matrix. What we got was nothing like The Matrix, but what we got was something called Second Life. And the interesting thing now, when Second Life first came out, was it early mid 2000s? I wanted to see what it was like. I had an account, and you could float, you could fly in Second Life, and you could do all this stuff and make your own island. Build your own house. There were people actually making real world money on Second Life money. I don't know how they were doing that, but evidently they were really doing that. People were actually making real life business by being on Second Life. But it was getting to the point. There were a few stories I remember back then, around 2006-ish or so, about how it was coming to pass how people were spending 6, 7, 8 hours a day on Second Life. I thought that was kind of sad. Now, I don't know. I've since long deleted my account and my icon on Second Life. I think I was a member for like 6 months before I got bored of it, really. Real life is much more exciting than that augmented crap anyway. But I haven't been over there. I don't even know if Second Life is still. I just thought of it. I don't know if it's still up and running or not. I don't. I mean, it probably is. I don't know. I should probably go look during the break and see if it's still up. But I don't know. And what it is secondlife.com, I do believe. I think that's it. But I'm sure it has come a long way in the past 10 years, 10 or 11 years since I had an account. You try all those whenever some new technology or a new website or something comes along and gets some big press, because Second Life had some big press back in the early days. You want to check it out, see what it's all about. You're thinking, well, it could be some fun for a little while. But then after a while, when the newness wears off, it's kind of like the SimCity stuff. That's why SimCity keeps coming out with new versions. What are they up to? SimCity 6 or something now? And I've always enjoyed those games, SimCity games. I like non-violent games, but I like games where you can blow stuff up too. Like right now, if you want to talk about application games or app games from apps for iPad and phones, for tablets and phones, I like SimCity Build It. Right now, you can actually friend me on SimCity Build It. If you want, I have a city that's over 500,000 people on it, and I'm starting to get some of those new Epic or whatever buildings. I got 3 or 4 of them already, and they're kind of neat. But I'm starting to get some of those. But it's getting kind of wonky. The delay and everything, and sometimes it crashes on my iPad, and I didn't think Apple stuff was supposed to do that, because I have an iPad mini. I didn't think Apple was supposed to do that, but it does. So it gets kind of frustrating trying to play it. So I don't play that as often as I used to. But I was addicted to SimCity Build It. And then I decided, well, I'm going to try this Clash of Clans thing. And I actually like it. I don't fully understand how Clash of Clans works. I don't. I mean, I've been playing it for about a month and a half, 2 months now. I don't fully. There's a lot involved in it. I mean, it's a free app. There's a lot involved to it. Becoming part of other clans and all that. I don't spend hours and hours and hours on these things every day. So this is why I'm probably still behind the 8 ball and not figuring out the whole program. But I haven't quite figured out the whole thing yet. But it's just fun just playing around with it. But the one that I'm really addicted to at the moment is Boom Beach. Yeah, and I saw a couple of commercials on TV about it. I don't know. It kind of looks cartoonish. But I think that's part of the draw of it, is because it looks a little cartoonish. This is the style of cartoons today. I mean, just think of Emperor's New Groove, and you got the style of this cartoon style of this program, this game, and it's a lot of fun. And I've figured out how a lot of this works up to the level that I'm at right now. I think I'm at level 18th level. I've been playing about a month. It's a lot of fun. The one drawback between Boom Beach and Clash of Clans that is not that SimCity does not have is you cannot play those two games offline. You have to be connected in order to play Boom Beach and Clash of Clans. Where SimCity Build It, you can play it offline and it will update once you're connected. And that comes into play, recently since I've been flying a lot. It comes into play, and you can play the game on the airplane without being connected. One of the other things me and technology, we often fight and don't get along. Oh, by the way, the number that you can call in this Freedom Friday is 603-835-3224. Again, anytime during this 3 hours of magnificence and information, 603-835-3224. One of the things that I've been having troubles with is actually downloading movies onto my iPad without using iTunes. I'm not a huge Apple guy. I don't have an iTunes account. There are people that love Apple. I don't particularly love Apple. I'm not a huge Apple fan. I think to pay maybe at one point in the past, to pay the premium for the advantages that Apple had might have been worth it for a lot of people. I don't think those advantages are there anymore. I think the rest of the industry, the non-Apple industry, basically has caught up. I think that those who want to do you harm via your computer have caught up with Apple. And Apple is no longer the hands, especially after Steve Jobs passed away. Apple is no longer hands-off. Apple is lumped in with just like everybody else. Apple is now one of there's a dichotomy with Apple right now, that the wonderful millennials and people that like free stuff, they're struggling with this. You've got Apple, one of the most valuable corporations in the world, one of the most highly profitable corporations in the world, a corporation that has a lot of its stuff made in China and imported to the U.S. People who were Apple geeks are now having second thoughts and problems with Apple because of all that. They're saying, wait a minute, Apple's this huge corporate conglomerate. They keep coming out with these wonderful new products, but they're overpriced. Sure, you still, every time Apple comes out with a new iPhone, you have these people lining up, literally for days to get it to be one of the first to get the new iPhone. But those lines are starting to dwindle because people are saying, wait a minute, is this worth it every 9 to 15 months to come in here and spend $600, $700, $800 for a phone? Why is it that an Apple iPad is still costing $600 when you've got the equivalent of a PC non-Apple based tablet, so it's like that, mini tablet, for like $400, almost half the price, third the price. People are starting to wonder about that because the advantages of Apple just doesn't have the advantages anymore that it once had. I know there are a lot of Appleites out there who will disagree with me, but the reality is the differences are not there. Now, I have a few Apple products. I got to tell you, I didn't buy any of my Apple stuff. They were all anything Apple that I have was given to me as a gift. Because I didn't see the need to paying the premium. And the problem is that I'm seeing some of the problems that I've had with my PC based, my Microsoft based and Google based products. Same issues I'm having with my Apple products. So there's no difference. So why would I spend more money to experience the same problems? Makes no sense to me. But I know there are a lot of people out there that absolutely adore Apple. But Apple stock is down. And again, people are asking the question, well, why we're out here. One of the big things that really woke a few people up on the left was during the Occupy movement. You had all these occupiers out there who were lambasting and just complaining and crucifying big business, even Starbucks to a point, while they're out there occupying. But then they were running around trying to get the latest new Apple iPhone that came out during that time. And people started to ask, well, wait a minute. You hate big companies, big corporations, and yet you go and support one as soon as you can get an Apple iPhone. And a lot of those people started to second guess themselves and think, yeah. Now this is one of the few times that these liberal lefties were actually trying to think logical. They were starting to think, yeah, why are we falling for Apple? And that was started the beginning of this what I call the Apple wake up or Apple renaissance. And at that particular point in time, you started to see Apple stock hasn't had a net loss, but you started to see some wavering among the Appleites out there. They were starting to question, hey, why is my phone made in China? And that factory in China is a sweatshop. Why is it a sweatshop? And they were putting Apple a little bit on the hot seat for the first time in Apple's life. It was something different. It was something different for Apple. Maybe this is all coming about because of the iconic Steve Jobs is no longer there. The man was, pretty much in geekdom considered a geek god. He was nearly untouchable. And then we started to get all these wonderful, I use that term loosely, wonderful biographies about Jobs. Because everybody thought Steve Jobs, that he was a genius and he was wonderful and he was kind and he was great to work for. And all these biographies, all of them seem to back up one another that Steve Jobs was actually a jerk to work for. He was tough, sometimes mean, cruel, inconsiderate. And people were starting to hear this from more than one source, even from insiders of Apple that started to come out and say, yeah, this was how Steve Jobs was. This is the way he did this. This is the way he did that. And this whole persona, this iconic persona of Jobs a crack started to appear. And now people are second guessing and say, well, geez, did he, was he booted out the first time when he lost control of Apple the first time? Was it back in the late 80s, early 90s? Was it justified? Because people always thought, well, that wasn't justified. They kicked Steve Jobs out of his own company. And now people are asking, well, was it really justified? They weren't going to be able to get rid of Jobs a second time because he made sure of that. He was not going to lose control. But now there's this second guessing about Jobs and his second coming to Apple. Jobs moved American jobs offshore. Now you have all these liberals complaining that corporations aren't bringing foreign money, foreign profits onshore so they can be taxed. Apple's one of the biggest culprits, if you will. Now, I don't blame Apple for not bringing money onshore, but Apple is one of the biggest culprits, if you will, of keeping profits offshore so it isn't taxed by the American government. So the left is starting to run into this problem, and Apple is just one example. The left is starting to run into problems with all their beloved iconic brands and iconic people who are doing exactly the same thing as all their hated brands and all their hated iconic people. Well, yeah, this company is moving jobs offshore. Well, so is the company that you love and back so much. Oh, yeah. Well, this company, they got billions of dollars offshore. Well, so does this company that you love so much. Oh, yeah. So there are cracks that are starting to appear in the leftist lexicon because their view through their rose-colored lenses is getting marred by all these cracks. And I say that because now that there are Democrats, and this began a couple of years ago actually, but there are more and more Democrats who see the writing on the wall and they're trying to distance themselves even further from Barack Hussein Obama. They're the ultimate leftist icon currently. And you see a lot of people on the left who really aren't firmly embracing the other classic icon, Hillary Clinton. I mean, you would have thought 3 years ago that Hillary Clinton would have just walked away with the Democratic nomination and just would have been ushered in by red carpet to the White House. That's not happening right now. She's fighting for her political life on a number of different fronts. Now, she'll probably survive simply because that's the way the left works. But it isn't an easy road for her like it was supposed to be. And that's a good thing. Because the more people that wake up, and I'm really talking about the leftists here, the better our country is going to be. Because you have all these wonderful, iconic things and people that are out there. And you got to ask, well, how do you constantly support stuff that you always blast? And I know, a lot of times it's just the total idiocy. I got something here that I'm going to want to share with you a little bit later about the stupidity of the youth of America. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable. But it's there. It's there for everybody to see and for everybody to hear. But, one of the things I know a lot of people say, including myself, we talk about edumacation. And yes, for those of you in Rush Limbaugh's Ria Linda, I mispronounced education on purpose. I said edumacation. It's like saying Canada. I said I said it with love because I love Canada. When I was younger, I used to go to Canada all the time. Canada's beautiful. And the people are absolutely wonderful and friendly. I almost dated a Canadian girl once. It was a long time ago. But I still remember her name. Her name was Candy, by the way. Later on, she entered the Canadian Air Force. So there you go. But I have not spoken to her in years. But I say Canada, and some people look at me like, "Whoa, you don't know how to pronounce the word, the name of the country?" Like, no, it's a nickname that I've given them out of love. So whenever I talk about them favorably, I always say Canada. Nothing wrong with that. We'll be back.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is Ben Gordon with Power Swabs, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Start training for a new career in as little as 18 days. National EMS Institute's innovative boot camp program will train you for a new career. Learn to respond to emergency situations and become a certified EMT in just 18 days. National EMS Institute guarantees 100% job placement. Visit www.nationaleMSinstitute.com today to learn more about our 18-day boot camp. Or call us at 1-800-497-6732. National EMS Institute.com.
Stuck in a boring, low-paid job? By 2017, there will be a shortage of 2 million cybersecurity jobs worldwide. If you have a technical background but don't have a computer certification, you are being drastically underpaid. In months, you could be qualified for a new job in information technology, making real money with real job security. A new career is just a few clicks away at thecodeoflearning.com.
Bring the rain.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
And we are back. 603-835-3224 is the Freedom Hotline to call on this Freedom Friday here on The Rod Eccles Show. And I am still your lovable host, El Rod, as we blast on through the morning. This is your new morning routine, I hope, because we'll be here all week next week, all week after, all week, all year. And we're going to have some fun, as well as you're going to learn some facts, and you're going to learn fact from fiction. Again, if you are an Apple-ite, I guess, take it to heart. My less than enthusiastic love, I guess, or lack thereof, of Apple products. I'm just not a huge. I don't understand today. I still don't understand the huge Apple love over. I mean, you get some people are just like there's no everything in their house is Apple. Apple desktop, Apple laptop, Apple iPad, iPhone, I this, I that. I mean, everything is Apple. And then you have people that are like me that the only reason that they get an Apple is because somebody gives it to them as a gift, because they're not going to go out there and buy one. Because we're not up for paying the premium for less than premium product. And look, they I have my issues with all of them. I mean, I've said it on the air before. I've even had HP contact me once, because I said on the air that I've had 3 HP computers, 2 laptops and a desktop, and all 3 of them sucked. And I was no longer going to go with an HP. It was about a month or two after that. I got something from HP, asking me some questions about, what did this about the product, that about, and I blasted them. I just said, there's no way I'm going to ever buy an HP product again. And not knowingly buy an HP product again. I don't know. HP probably owns stuff that I don't know about, but I would never knowingly buy another HP product. And, I got this, we're sorry about your bad experience. I'm like, it's not just one bad experience. It's 3. What are you supposed to do with that? You get. I know some people are saying, "Well, Rod, you made a mistake. You should have gone with them or them or them." I don't. Look, I'm not a techie or a computer guru or anything like that. I don't know what the best. I mean, I could try to figure out, but every time you go online, you try to figure out what the best one is for this or this, and you Google it. Well, Google gives you a return. There were 318 million results to your query. How are you supposed to figure out what's best when on the first page, you got 10 spots, 10 websites on the first page, and you got 10 different answers to what the best computer is? Now, how is somebody like me supposed to figure that one out? Okay, this tech blog says that this is the best computer, and this tech blog says that this is the best computer, and this tech blog says, by the way, when I was looking for the best computer, I think only one of those tech blogs that I saw mentioned Apple as the best. Well, Rod, that's because you said PC. No, I said computer. Are Apple's not considered computer? I don't know. I know PC and Apple are different. But computer, I would think, also encompasses Apple. Does Apple not consider itself a computer? One site on that first page of Google listed an Apple as the best. So I don't know. So I'm sure if I were to go and look today and see, well, what's the best computer, I'd probably get a similar result. I'd get 10 or 12 different results in the first page, and then I'd be just as confused as ever. But that's I don't know how they rate this stuff. It's kind of like rating the best politicians ever, and the worst politicians ever in the United States. You know, Democrats are always going to say that it's a Republican is the worst. And the funny thing is that they will name reasons for that Republican being the worst, and then when you check the facts and the reality of the historical data, it was actually a Democrat that did a lot of that stuff. It's kind of like today with Barack Obama and George W. Bush. Yeah, everybody hated George W. Bush on the left. Oh, the Patriot Act, man, that is so criminal, anti-constitutional. The left was saying this, not just the right, the left. Then Barack Obama gets in and tries to strengthen and double down and extend the Patriot Act into infinity. And the left are like, well, he's only trying to protect us. So we've got to be able to come up with some firm criteria of what the best is and what the worst is, because all this best and worst stuff is so subjective, and you're trying to figure it out on subjectivity, and you cannot do it. So you end up with something that's less than stellar, less than the best, and you end up regretting it. Really, because the HP desktop that I have, it was, when I got it, it was for the price point that it was one of the best. It turns out it's one of the worst. I mean, from like day one, it had a video card issue. When I looked it up online, this was a normal occurrence for this particular model of HP. And HP refused to recall them, but everybody knew about the issue. Well, how can it be one of the best desktops in its class if when out of the box it has a video card issue? And it wasn't a random or rare occurrence. It was multiple times from a majority of people who bought the machine. I don't know how that gets to be on the best list. I mean, best of the worst maybe is what it should have been, but it wasn't. He said, "Yeah, this is one of the best ones you can get for under $500." So does that mean everything under $500 at that particular point in time was going to have an issue like that? Well, that's not what any of the tech blogs said when I was reading them. They didn't say, well, don't go for anything under $500 because that is just going to be an awful computer, and the best you can get is this HP, which is still a piece of crap. It's not what they said. If they would have said that, I probably would have considered something a little bit more pricey, but that's not what they said. So again, when you get to these types of things, and they're always telling you the best of this and the best of that, and this is the best and that's the best, well, is it subjective? How are they coming up with this criteria? Now, this is just a personal rant. It has nothing to do with liberty or freedom or anything like that. It's just a personal rant that I just needed to get off my chest. So if you've got an answer to that kind of thing, I'd like to hear it. I don't, there's the best of it. There's a best list of everything. There's probably a best list of the best blogs that tell you the best stuff, right? This is the best blog about best blogs, right? That's probably out there. I know it's out there. You go Google it and you'll probably find it. The best blog of the best blogs. It's just kind of funny. But anyway, we have all these wonderful people who are starting to try to view life between the cracks of their rose-colored glasses, which is why Hillary Clinton is not, running away so easily with this nomination, which is why Bernie Sanders is giving her fits, and which is why, the lamestream media is trying to prop her up. I mean, they're trying to prop her up so, well, hey, Hillary, if Donald Trump is a nominee, Hillary Clinton will wipe the floor with him. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So they're telling us that the American people, even though Donald Trump is, because Donald Trump is, he's getting, well, Donald Trump might be in trouble this time because there's a Vermont venue, 7,000 seats, but he issued 20,000 tickets. And, the lamestream press is focusing on, let me digress for a second. The lamestream press is focusing on the fact that there may have been a ticket issuing mistake, that Donald Trump booked a 7,000-seat venue, but issued 20,000 tickets, and that people are going to be so upset that because of this that they're going to stop supporting him. I'm thinking, what, are you out of your mind? And you're missing the big story. Donald Trump is in Bernie Sanders' backyard in Vermont. He has rented a venue that holds 7,000 people. But 20,000 people wanted tickets. That's the story. 20,000 people in Vermont want to attend a Donald Trump rally. But if it's Bernie Sanders had 15,000 people. And that's supposed to be fine. 15,000 people is okay if it's Bernie Sanders, but if it's 15 or 20,000 people with Donald Trump, he's got a problem now. But he's in Bernie Sanders' backyard. I thought everybody was for Bernie Sanders. Well, guess not. So, again, I'm not promoting or saying that I'm endorsing Trump for anything, but I'm just amazed that they can go out there and say all these Trump has equal or greater numbers than Sanders at rallies. And they were saying that with Sanders gathering all these people at his rallies, that Hillary Clinton was in trouble and that Sanders could possibly beat Hillary. Now, Sanders could beat Hillary for the primary. But how is that if she can beat Donald Trump, who's garnering more support, visible support, than Sanders is? But all these other candidates who are not garnering the same type of visible support that Trump is garnering, they all can beat Hillary, but Trump cannot. Look, all you got to do is listen to the lamestream media, and they'll tell you who they're exactly who they're afraid of. And now this whole issue with Cruz and the birther thing. And left is telling you again who they're afraid of. Now, why didn't they mention this months ago about Cruz? Now, I have said over and over again that Barack Obama was born in Hawaii. As far as I can tell, he was born in Hawaii, not Kenya. So he's a citizen, natural-born citizen. And even if he wasn't, according to those who know the Constitution, even if he was born in Kenya, he's still a natural-born citizen because his mommy is a natural-born citizen. I said that about Barack. Well, this is the same thing that Cruz is falling under. And the same people that said that about Barack that I believe are saying the same thing about Cruz. And this was long before they even had to deal with John McCain. John McCain wasn't born on U.S. soil, by the way. He was born in Panama on a U.S. territory, possession, but he wasn't born in the United States. I mean, Mitt Romney's father, I guess, was not born in the United States. He was born in U.S. territory, but he was not born in the United States. So they were trying to bring up the issue of Mitt Romney a natural born. The problem is that we have all these people on the right because we're a nation of immigrants, you got to understand that. You have all these people on the right that the left just cannot stand. And they will try anything and everything to try to derail those on the right. all the while, they'll stay. The same thing that they're accusing those on the right of, they will circle the wagons around those on the left. Now, they were trying to chastise McCain, Romney, and now Cruz, that they're ineligible for some reason because they're not natural-born citizens, but at the same time, they'll circle the wagons around Barack Obama on this same issue. You know, they'll talk about, well, Cruz has got 2 passports and, you know, the birth certificate and all this kind of stuff, but they still haven't turned over Barack Obama's birth certificate. Oh, yeah, they have. No, we've proven more than one person, more than one computer forensic scientist has proven that that document that they issued online was fake. And as a matter of fact, I do believe they found the person who did commit the fraud of putting up the fake birth certificate, and they admitted that it was faked. It was doctored. Yeah, that's one of those things that the lamestream media always conveniently leaves out. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory against Barack Obama. No, that's actually the facts. So, you know, this whole notion that there are people out to get people, it's not so much the right trying to get the left, because we don't need to come up with, you know, diabolical schemes to try to get the left. The left is just the left, and all we got to do is use their own actions, thoughts, and processes and actions against them. We don't have to invent anything on the left, because they're just who they are, and that's all we need. That's more than what we need. You know, the left being the left is more. There is more bad, evil, corrupt, whatever language you want to use, from the left actually going about their daily lives than we on the right could possibly ever use in a lifetime. We don't need to make anything up, is my point. Plain and simple. We don't. You want to talk hypocrisy? Wait 5 minutes and the left will prove themselves to be hypocrites. We don't got to make anything up. I know I don't. I don't have to. All I got to do is just sit here and watch stuff come through my news feed. Yeah. Well, there's that. Didn't have to wait more than 5 minutes. And this is stuff coming from lamestream media. You know, left-leaning media. I'm talking New York Times. I'm talking CNN.com. All this stuff coming across. They're the ones reporting this hypocrisy. Not right-leaning media, not Fox News. I don't even have to watch Fox News to know what the left is doing, because even the left thinks that the left sometimes is a nut job. It's just so funny. All I got to do is wait 5 minutes and I'll get a news feed stream of a bunch of idiotic stuff from the left being reported on by a leftist reporter from a leftist publication. I don't got to do much work. And I don't have to make a damn thing up. Which is part of the... I'm surprised I still have a full head of hair, because, you know, some of this stuff that I have to read on a daily basis, or watch on a daily basis, my God, I'm going to pull out my hair. You know what I'm talking about out there. You ecclesiastites know exactly what I'm talking about, because you probably experience it on a daily basis as well. So I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. You know where to go. You know where to go to get this information daily. By the way, you know, RodEccles.net is on the verge of expanding again. This is going to be a fantastic year. Lots of good stuff coming out this first quarter. On the program, on the website, on the social networks, on tour, everywhere. Yeah. If you have not heard the news, by the way, yours truly, the Hillsborough County Republican group. I'm sorry, I can't even. The New Hampshire Republican Party holds a gala just before the primary. This year's Republican Party gala, just before the primary, it's like 4 days before the primary, they hold a big public gala, and it's going to be national in scope, because all the candidates are expected to be there. And it is the New Hampshire Republican Party. Yours truly, Elrod, your master of truth, will be master of ceremonies. Yeah, I was absolutely, totally floored and honored up the wazoo that they asked me to do this. Came out of nowhere for me. Wasn't expecting anything like this at all. But of course, when I was asked, I'm like, well, yeah. So I'm hoping all the candidates will be there because I would love to be able to have the opportunity to meet each one and shake their hands, even if I don't support them. Yeah, even Jeb Bush. I would shake Jeb Bush's hand, look him in the eye, and say, yeah, "Nice to meet you, sir." It's called respect, for one. And the man is a governor, a former governor, after all. That's no small feat. Just because I don't agree with his politics on a national level doesn't mean I don't think he's a good man. Well, would you shake Bernie Sanders' hand? I would shake Bernie Sanders' hand. Well, would you shake Hillary Clinton's hand? I turned my back on Hillary Clinton. You see, there's one thing about Hillary Clinton and versus Bernie Sanders. See, Bernie Sanders didn't lie and obfuscate and fail at being Secretary of State and protecting American citizens abroad, and then lie to cover it up. Again, I may not agree with Bernie Sanders, and I may think he's an angry, grumpy, old curmudgeon uncle, and that he's a socialist. But he is not a liar. He is not a murderer. He's not a conniving, I would turn my back on Hillary Clinton, but I would shake Bernie Sanders' hand. And I would say, nice to meet you, sir. I completely and utterly disagree with your politics, but it's very nice to meet you. I don't think I could stand to be in the same room with Hillary. I'm being honest. Look, and one thing, if you're new to the show, one thing you're going to understand is I will always be honest with you. I just tell it like it is because I don't care. I don't give a what people think. I'll just tell it exactly the way I think it is, the way it should be, the reality of it. And the reality is I don't give a flying rip about Hillary Clinton. I would turn my back on her. Frankly, she's turned her back on the American people, and now all she was really in this for is just power and money. Now, say what you want about Bernie Sanders. I agree that he really truly believes that his way is the best way. Bernie Sanders isn't in it for the money. He's in it for the power grab, sure, because he wants big government and control of your life, but he's not in it for the money. And, most of the Republicans are not in it for the money. Some of them are in it for power because they also kind of like big government too. But they're not, most of them are not in it for the corrupt money. And most of them are not in it, for corrupt power. And I don't think Bernie Sanders, you could call him a socialist or a communist. I don't think Bernie Sanders is corrupt. But Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, Barack Hussein Obama, on the other hand, oh yeah, they're corrupt. Completely. And all they're in it for is raw power and big money. And they don't want big government. They want to be the head of that big government. They want to be the potentate, the king, the emperor, the dictator, whatever. They want to be at the top of the heap, running everything. I dare somebody to try to tell me that is not the case, because it is the case. Plain and simple. Well, that's neither here nor there. How would you like this for a Christmas present? This is from the UK Daily Mail, something a little bit lighter side before we go into the break. Missouri husband gives his wife Best Christmas present ever. Ever. Guys, unless you've done something like this, you have not given your wife the best Christmas present ever. This guy did. Robert Bolin of Platte City, Missouri, won Missouri Lotto jackpot on December 3rd, but he kept it secret. He didn't even tell his wife so he could surprise her for Christmas. Now, the father of three eventually collected his winnings of $2 million on December 29th. He purchased the winning ticket from a Trexmart in Tracy, Missouri. He won $2 million and kept it a secret from his wife until Christmas, when he could pull it out and say, "Merry Christmas, honey." And she's probably thinking, "Well, where's my present?" And he's pulling out this lotto ticket, and she's saying, "Well, that's just a piece of paper." He says, "Yeah, it's a piece of paper worth $2 million. Can you imagine? I don't know. How could you even be so... That means he would have to keep going to work. You know, because a lot of people win the lottery and they quit their job. But you have to keep going to work. So, yeah, I'm going to agree with this in this particular scenario. Best Christmas ever. Telling your wife you're now multi-millionaire.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great Granite State of New Hampshire, where the state motto is live free or die. It is not big government or bust. And yeah, I did check again today, and it hasn't changed yet. It is Friday, Freedom Friday, as we celebrate getting into the weekend here on your new morning ritual here on the Rod Eccles Show and Zinc Media. 603-835-3224 is the number to call if you wish to join me here live and add your 2, 3, 4, or 5 cents. 2 cents is not really worth a whole hell of a lot anymore, right? There's not even any. You can't even. What is penny candy now? Penny candy's a quarter, right? You go to those the vending machines. You can't even find penny candy. It's all a quarter. I don't even think there's vending machines that take a nickel or a dime anymore. Everything's at least a quarter. I think the last time I saw one of those, the gumball machines. Last time I paid attention to one of them. I think it was 50 cents. You had to put in 2 quarters. The penny candy's long gone. Hey, so you can't even get 2 cents worth of. What do you get for 2 cents? And a single M&M? Maybe I don't know. But we do know that guy in Missouri and his wife aren't going to have to worry about penny candy because $2 million lottery tickets and one hell of a great Christmas present. He actually split the lotto winnings with another ticket holder. It was a $4 million jackpot, and so he got $2 million. And even after all the taxes and everything, he's still going to probably walk away with $1 million for doing. And I said that he didn't go to work. Well, he still went to work. Well, he didn't go to. Well, his job, I guess, was at home because he's retired now. But he didn't look that old in the picture. He's an engineer, so he's probably early retirement. And now, him and his wife will get to enjoy a more comfortable retirement. It's if you're out there playing this new lotto, what is it, the Mega Bucks, whatever it is. And it's expected the jackpot to be over by the time the drawing is tomorrow evening, I do believe. I don't really know because I don't play. I don't buy lottery tickets because I never win. So why am I going to be wasting my money? I know people always tell me, well, Rod, it goes to education or special. We already pay enough for education. Good grief, property taxes and sales taxes across this country are high enough to support education, and we're still getting jack crap out of it. So why volunteer to pay even more? But if you want to do so, go right ahead. But I don't play those types of games of chance because I'm not a big gambler because I don't win. Let me tell you about my. Sure, I'll play poker with friends and stuff, but that's about it. When it comes to actually really gambling, I was such a gambler in my early adult life. I was a huge gambler. Oh, yes. I was a fantastic gambler. I went to Vernon Downs, New York. Vernon Downs is a racetrack, horse track, but they're trotters. You get the horse and buggy races. Yeah, trotters. There's no sprinting like thoroughbreds. It's a trotter track. And for 5 races, first time there, I watched a couple of races, see how it worked. I'm like, yeah, man, I can do this. So I went into full mode, big time gambler. Yeah, I put down on one race $2 each on 3 horses, $6 total. Oh yeah, I was huge. You know what I won? Yeah, I won. I won a horse race. First race I ever bet on. I won. You know what I won? $6. Yeah, that same $6 that I just bet on 3 different. So I thought my formula was great. So you know what I did again? Next race, did it again. Bet on 3 horses, $2 each. Oh, this time I did better. I won $7. Well, I was up $1, man. So by the time I did that for each of the remaining races that were left, by the time I walked out of there, I'd won every single race. Well, hard not to when you're placing, you're betting on 3 different horses to win or something. One of the 3 that are top 3, they're going to win. So I won all the races. I won all of them, and I came out with the original $6 plus $3 on top of that. So I made a profit of $3. Yeah, yes. And do you know, I have never gambled on bet on horses ever since then. Because I have no clue what I'm doing. That's not how you gamble. That's not $3. It costs more than, even back then, it cost more than $3 just to drive up there. I think $3 even then didn't maybe paid for a Coke. So I got a free drink out of it. Yeah, that's great. But And I do remember, being a part of a lottery club. It was like, three or five of us. Every week, I was toss in $10 into the group. So we'd end up with $50 or $60 every week and we did this thing called wheeling numbers. Those of you who play the lottery all the time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we would wheel these. Do you know how much we won in the year that we did this? Oh, we spent thousands of dollars probably over the year playing the lot. We won less than $100 over that year. So I learned that I was not a gambler because I don't win. When I was in high school, I would always play the football parlay. One of my friends, he was, he would do this parlay with a shark, if you will, a gambling shark, bookie, and he'd bring in these parlays into school in lunchtime, and there were a bunch of us that play. It was $1. So you give them $1, and you circle 5 or 6 teams that you expected to win or beat the spread or what have you. Again, that entire junior year of high school, 16 weeks, I didn't win once. I'm not a gambler. I suck at gambling. I got to tell you, when it comes to actually, monetary, that's why I don't go to Vegas. That's why I don't go to Uncasville, Connecticut, over to the Mohegan Sun or anything like that, because they'd clean me out. I wouldn't win. I was very good at poker, though. But what these guys play in these gambling establishments is a level far higher than I have ever achieved. I'll admit that. I mean, I'm good at poker, but I'm nothing like those guys. You ever watch the World Series of Poker? I know it's kind of boring, but you watch these guys play poker, 5-card stud and Texas Hold'em, and I don't know how they do it. And I know that's why most of them wear sunglasses, but it's just. That is a level of expertise of gambling in cards that is far, far above me, because I don't win. I don't know. Maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you always win. So if you always win, you've got the opportunity now to possibly win. By the time the jackpot is done growing, over $700 million. Now I guarantee I don't think if there's going to be, I can't believe, if there's one winner, God help them. God help if there's a single ticket with a single gambler attached to it. Now, it would be different if it's a single ticket winner, but, it's like a group of people of like 20. Well, that's different. If you get one winner for one ticket for $700 million, his life will never be the same ever again. They won't even be able to go into hiding. Well, first of all, the lottery always tells them, well, we get to use your mug and persona if you win. So these people will never be private again if there's one winner. If there's a bunch of winners, then it's not so dramatic. Well, they all get to share $700 million, and it comes out to be, they all get like $100 million apiece or something. But that's still nothing to sneeze at. But I hope to God that it isn't one person that wins that whole jackpot. That'll be over. We won't, if it's only one winner, we're not going to hear from that person for probably at least 6 months. Oh, would you come forward that fast? If I won that kind of money, let me tell you, the first thing I'd be doing is setting up all kinds of legal entities and contacting lawyers and financial advisors and building up my financial and other types of protective walls and barriers and everything else and that takes time to develop. I wouldn't be, and I'd have to find a safe from someplace and lock that ticket away, that's for sure. Because there's no way I could turn it in within a week. You got to be prepared. Yeah, and you're going to have to hire yourself a security team and security firm and can you, where are you going to live? The average person lives in, Averageville, Joe, USA, in the country or in the city or something, single family home or apartment. Where are you going to live? You cannot go back to your old home if you're the only winner of $700 million. How are you going to secure your home and yourself? I don't want to scare anybody from trying to play, so go and play if you want. But just take into consideration that if you are the winner, there's a lot. You think it's just going to be easy peasy? No, there's going to be some work before you even collect that humongous amount, because your life is going to change tremendously. So good luck to all of you who are playing. I'm staying out this one. I'm going to sit at home on this one. It's amazing how so many people will also chastise the rich and hate the rich, but at the same time, they'll go out there and spend, $5, $10, $15, $20 every week to try to become one of them. It goes for liberals, too. I hate the rich, can't stand the rich, but they're out there playing the lotto because they want to be rich. Hypocrisy up the wazoo. Growing percentage, this is from cnsnews.com, growing percentage of men, I don't call them men, growing percentage of adult boys aged 25 to 54 say home responsibilities keep them out of the labor force. The Mr. Mom syndrome. It'd be different if they're actually working from home. That's one thing. But this is from the Labor Department, Bureau of Labor Statistics, is coming out with these guys don't have a job. Because it's just so tough to go to work every day and bring home the bacon and then take care of the family. I got so many responsibilities I can't handle. Grow up. How sad is that? Men 25 to 54 say home responsibilities keep them out of the labor force. So among the data it tracks, the Bureau of Labor Statistics counts how many people are not participating in the labor force. And in a new report, it also examined the reasons people give for their non-participation. Retirement, illness, or disability, home responsibilities, school, or other reasons. And the report looked at people's non-participation in labor force by age and gender for the years 2014, the most recent for which data is available, and 2004. In the year 2014, 763,000 men between the ages of 25 and 54 cited home responsibilities as their reason for not working or for not looking for work. Those 763,000 men were 1.2% of the total male civilian non-institutional population in that age group. Back in 2004, 577,000 men in that age group, or 0.9%, cited home responsibilities as their reason for not working and not looking for a job. So 750,000 men between the ages, boys, I should say, 750,000 boys between the ages of 25 and 54 in 2014 said they were not looking for work because a home isn't providing for yourself and your family one of your home responsibilities. I mean, at least getting out there looking. These guys aren't even looking. I'm not talking about having a job. They're not even out there. They're not even looking. They're not even trying to participate. That's the mental illness that we're facing now. And Bruce Jenner is back in the news again for whatever reason. I don't know. I know some people are going to call here. Rod, that's not Bruce. It's Caitlyn Jenner. No. Again, if you're new to this program, I refuse to call him Caitlyn. And this is part of it. We got a bunch of men running around trying to be women. It is so bad that even a woman's magazine named Bruce Jenner Woman of the Year. Who does that? Can somebody, well, look, you can, what's that old saying? You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Well, you can put lipstick on Bruce Jenner, but he's still Bruce. And he's not a woman. There was he's got a reality show, right? I tried to watch an episode of it. And because I thought, I was convinced that this was a Kardashian-esque type of, stunt to try to stay out in the public eye and make money off of this thing. But which is why I watched part of this reality episode of Bruce, Caitlyn Jenner, whatever it was. They were on a coach bus, tour bus, and drinking white wine on the bus, and they were all women and trans women, whatever. And they were just caterwauling away as women are supposed to do, right? So that's the stereotype. And I'm looking and listening at Bruce Jenner and another quote unquote woman. I have no idea who he was. But I'm watching for 10 minutes and thinking, my God, this is not an act. He's for real. He really believes that he's a woman. He really believes he's a woman. And I couldn't, I don't know how long it was. A half-hour program? I don't know. Hour. I only watched 10 minutes of it, and I had to turn away because I couldn't take it. Unbelievable. But this is what we're doing to our men. We're not only, in this country, we're not only turning men into boys, but we're turning those boys into girls. Can you believe? And one of the biggest, and this is a Western civilization problem. It's not just here. One of the biggest male models in the world is a question mark. They call what's his name? He's androgynous. And you don't know if he's a girl or a guy half the time. What he's dressed up in for modeling and his physical shape and his looks, you don't know. He's like a third sex. I mean, his sexuality is fluid. Well, what the hell does that mean? Fluid. I mean, it changes from day to day. I don't understand. Look, just be a man. Buck up and own up. And grow up. You don't get to be. This isn't. We've got so many Peter Pans. It's ridiculous. It's one thing to want to try, to try to stay in shape or to try to eat right and do all kinds of things to try to stay healthy and stay physically young, if you will, and to keep your mind active so you're mentally young. That's one thing, but to actually pretend that you're not grown up, to actually pretend that you're still a teenager when you're like 40 years old is just ridiculous. Grow up. And this is all part of this. This is why when I got on the air on Wednesday, I was trying to point out the difference between all these wonderful young military men that were going through the airport after the holiday and the non-military males. The difference was so stark. And it's actually very sad because the military is such an extreme small percentage of the overall population in this country. But the difference is just stark, and this is just one of those things. I have too many responsibilities at home for me to work. I don't know, folks. I can't deal with that kind of idiocy. It just doesn't compute with me. I don't know. Does it compute with you? Let me know. Oh, you can give me a call. Let me know if it computes with you, because it sure as hell doesn't compute with me. And it really kind of, it kind of ticks me off, actually, that we can actually go out. Those of us who are busy acting like real men, who've actually grown up, and we're out there busy trying to attend to our home responsibilities. What home responsibilities would possibly keep you from getting a job? That's what I wanted, because the story doesn't say on CNS News. It doesn't say what those home responsibilities are. Can somebody possibly tell me what home responsibilities would keep you from work, at least working from home? Look, there are people that have multi-million dollar businesses run out of a home office or bedroom. There's nothing wrong with working from home. It's highly doable. There are people that have six-figure jobs that don't go into the office. They work from home. That's fine. But how is it that home responsibilities keep you from at least trying to look for work? I don't understand what home responsibilities would prevent a real, live, grown man from actually fulfilling and paying attention to his real responsibilities at home.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is Ben Gordon with Power Swabs, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Start training for a new career in as little as 18 days. National EMS Institute's innovative boot camp program will train you for a new career. Learn to respond to emergency situations and become a certified EMT in just 18 days. National EMS Institute guarantees 100% job placement. Visit www.nationaleMSinstitute.com today to learn more about our 18-day boot camp. Or call us at 1-800-497-6732. NationalEMSInstitute.com.
Stuck in a boring, low-paid job? By 2017, there will be a shortage of 2 million cybersecurity jobs worldwide. If you have a technical background but don't have a computer certification, you're being drastically underpaid. In months, you could be qualified for a new job in information technology, making real money with real job security. A new career is just a few clicks away at thecodeoflearning.com.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
603-835-3224 is the number to call should you wish to join me here live on The Rod Eccles Show, and I will be taking your calls, so just go ahead and dial those digits and call in if you want to weigh in on this Freedom Friday. By the way, Freedom Friday means that just about any subject is up for grabs. So even if I'm not discussing it on the air right now, you can bring up just about anything. Keep it clean, please. That's all I ask. But other than that, Freedom Friday is just about anything that catches your fancy. See, during the week, Monday through Thursday, it's all about what catches my fancy that I think that you should know. And Friday, it's just a mix of hodgepodge of stuff. So give it a shot. Marine Corps Times.com. This is just a sad commentary to go along with the boys not growing up. The Marine Corps has been ordered to come up with a plan to make its enlisted entry-level training co-ed and to make its job titles more gender-neutral, following the recent move to open all military combat roles to women. This is an abomination. This is terrible. Terrible. In a January 1st memo to Marine Commandant General Robert Neller, Navy Secretary Ray Mabus requested a detailed plan on how the service will fully integrate its boot camp and officer candidate school. The plan is due January 15th and will be implemented by April 1st. The Department of the Navy's implementation plan must include gender integration of Marine Corps enlisted recruit, as Obama would say, Marine Corps, enlisted recruit training and officer candidate school. Now, Mabus wrote, in this submission, identify where, if any, this training is already integrated, where it is separate, and specific steps that you'll take to fully integrate these trainings. So they're forcing the Navy and the Marines and the military to say, well, you know what, we're going to change, not only are we going to let women into the front lines combat roles, we're also going to change all the titles to everything to make them more gender neutral. So I guess it's not going to be corpsman anymore. It's going to be corps person. I'm guessing that's what it's going to be. On that level. So no more corpsmen, no more army men. It's going to be corps person and army person. So anything with the word man in it or male or what have you is probably going to be replaced with something gender neutral like person or people. Kind of like back in the 80s this is one of the times that the left and the politically correct failed to make its presence felt in the public square. Remember whenever kids were saying fireman, or policemen, that they were always corrected by saying fire person or police person. What do we call them today? Firemen and policemen. It did not catch on. Not that they didn't try. I don't hear anybody calling a fireman fire persons or a firewoman, the fire person. Hell, just a few weeks ago, I was talking to a female a firefighter, and you know what she called herself? Fireman. She said, "Yeah, I'm a fireman." She's a female. She wasn't trying to be a male. She just, I'm a fire. So that didn't work. I don't think if you corpsman or the corps person, I don't think this whole military is a little bit different, but because everybody's under orders to say certain things, but I don't. It's not going to work. It just the ridiculousness of it is just it's beyond me. Hey, I don't watch late night TV. What is it? Jimmy Kimmel and who's the other guy? I don't even know who they are. Who does the epic lip sync battles? That's not Kimmel, right? No, I don't know who they are. I don't watch them. Some people will point out, well, did you see this lip sync battle? And I'll tune into YouTube to see it, but I didn't watch any of those late night. I stopped watching Saturday Night Live long ago, so I don't watch any because I just don't think they're all that funny anymore. I didn't watch Johnny Carson. For shame, blasphemy! You didn't watch Johnny Carson? I didn't watch David Letterman. I didn't get into that late night garbage. A bunch of people thinking that they're funny and they're not funny. But anyway, this is Jimmy Kimmel actually did a on the street. This is the idiocy of the youth. I mean, I watch. This is a video actually. I watched this video, and I would say that most of all, if not all, were under the age of 30. But this is how you're going to have to listen to this. This is all about people, their reaction to North Korea claiming that they've detonated a hydrogen bomb. Now, this is actually, it's funny. Unfortunately, it is funny, but at the same time, it is extremely, extremely sad because this is how easy it is to manipulate people. If you come across with, something that's upbeat, even the most dire news, you come across it as being upbeat and congratulatory, and people are going to fall right without even thinking. This is the problem. They're not even thinking. Somebody would say, "Hey, you're going to congratulate North Korea on claiming they detonated a hydrogen bomb?" No, I'm not going to congratulate them. But folks, wait till you hear. If you don't watch Jimmy Kimmel, because I don't, but if you like to watch YouTube, we'll put a link on this up on rodeccles.net. But listen to this.
You would think that the idea that North Korea might have a hydrogen bomb would be somewhat alarming to those of us who are here on the West Coast. But we went out on the street today, and it seems like if you ask people a question in a cheerful enough manner, we Americans will offer congratulations for just about anything.
North Korea announced that they finally were able to successfully detonate a hydrogen bomb. The world is excited. People are sending their congratulations.
That's really good.
Yeah, would you like to congratulate North Korea?
Congratulations, North Korea. Finally. I mean, it's about time,
Would you like to say congratulations to North Korea? Any words of encouragement for them?
I think that, I think if you do believe that one day dreams can come true, I think. It's definitely a Disney, thing to do.
Would you say this is a great example of if you can dream it, you can achieve it?
For sure. If you believe you can do it, then you can achieve it.
And North Korea has done that with the hydrogen bomb.
Then that's good for them.
Yeah, you just gotta stick to your dreams, and anything can come true. Yeah, so we see they stuck to it.
Especially with North Korea and its hydrogen bomb. Yeah. Everyone's so excited for them. They're sending their congratulations. Would you like to congratulate North Korea?
Congratulations, North Korea. That's awesome. Congratulations, Kim Jong-un, on everything you've done. You've done a really good job. Keep it up. Stay safe. Good work.
Congratulations on achieving your dream, North Korea.
Congratulations, North Korea. That's a high five.
Now, I got to tell you that it's interesting that I don't know. Maybe I should probably watch these a little more often, because they do these things every once in a while. These real person on the street types of things, and what they reveal is incredible about the American psyche or lack thereof. So, congratulations to. I can't even say it in a facetious manner. Let's try this again. Congratulations to North Korea for successfully testing. Did they even? We don't even know if it was successful. They just claimed it was. How can I congratulate them if we don't even know if it's real? I mean, I don't know why we doubt them. After all, North Korea doesn't lie about anything at all. But for them to come out and claim that they did it, and now we should just probably congratulate. So I should probably say then, congratulations to North Korea on their apparent successful. Well, it's not even apparent. We don't even know. I know this is where my logical brain gets in the way. I can't even congratulate North Korea on potentially setting off a hydrogen bomb, a very deadly weapon of mass destruction. So, I guess maybe I just don't fit in with the 20-somethings. What is it, millennials? I can't. Sorry, I just cannot congratulate North Korea on the potential of them having nuclear weapons. I tried. I mean, I tried to. I don't want to bring them down. I don't want to, rain on their parade and all that kind of stuff. And I want to be, I want to be the type of person who's uplifting and encouraging. But I just, I can't get to the point of saying giving them congratulatory concessions. Maybe someday, when I've grown as a person, someday when I can look beyond my prejudices and my racism, because after all, North Korea, because they're North Koreans, they shouldn't be allowed to have any type of weaponry whatsoever, let alone nuclear weapon. So someday, when I've grown past my racism, when I've grown past my bigotry, when I've grown up inside as a full functioning and fully fledged grown human being, then and only then will I actually fully be able to understand the celebratory nature that this announcement was earlier this week about North Korea admitting, or at least trying to attempt to admit, that they launched and tested successfully a nuclear device of massive destructive power. And until I become that type of wonderful human being, I won't be able to do it. I just have to grow. I have to be able to grow inside. I have to be able to let go of all my preconceived notions of what the North Korean government is like. They're not dictators and thugs and criminals and evil people. They're just misunderstood, and I, as a black man, should understand that. Should I not? I should have, but I just can't get over my bigotry at this moment. So I will have to sit in a corner and meditate daily while drinking wheatgrass, asking the Yoda and the Gaia to forgive me and give me wisdom, and to help my spirit and my soul to grow to such a point where I can overcome this outer shell of hatred. I can only meditate that someday I will be able to honestly look Jimmy Kimmel's cameraman in the eye and say, congratulations. But that day is not today, because I cannot. I have not grown enough. And I am sorry. WND.com. Iraqi is reporting Iraqi refugees arrested in U.S. on terror charges. Governor urges Obama not to compromise safety of What? So, hey, we're supposed to let in all these, we're supposed to know what they are, right? We know, hey, you can't keep these people out. That's not what America's about. America's about letting its enemies into its own country and letting them loose on American streets so these folks can wreak havoc on the rest of us. I mean, that's what America is all about. Two men born in Iraq but living in the United States as refugees were arrested in Houston and in Sacramento by law enforcement officials, as they would say here in New England, who were involved in an ongoing investigation into terrorism. Oh, but wait, no, that's politically incorrect. Can't say terrorism. They were into, it was an ongoing investigation into workplace violence. That's it. Yeah. Workplace violence. The suspects were, did they have jobs anyway, by the way? I mean, it's for workplace violence to occur in a workplace. Don't you actually have to have a job, or can you just walk? Can you be unemployed and just walk into a place of business and work? And is that workplace? Does that count as workplace violence? By the way, I'm really legitimately, I'm not, because you never know when it comes to the left what their definitions really are, because their definitions are like their sex. It's fluid. I mean, however it fits at the moment is what the definition of the word is. So workplace violence. What is that exactly? I mean, do you have to work there for it to be workplace? But what if you don't work there? Is that still workplace? Well, it happens at work, but not their work, not the perpetrator. It's not the perpetrator could work someplace. What if the perpetrator works someplace else? Is that still workplace? I try to figure this stuff out for you folks because, I'm a curious person. I'm curious by nature, but I really want to know. I really do. I don't know. I mean, I admit when I don't know something, I don't know exactly what workplace violence is. I do not know the liberal definition of it. I don't know what it is. I don't know when is it not considered workplace violence when it's in a work environment. I don't know. I wish I knew. I'm trying to learn, but nobody's telling me so. But I try. But anyway, the suspects were identified by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Sacramento as Oz Mohammed Yunus Al-Jayab, Al-Jayab, who happens to be 23, and by the Department of Justice as Omar Faraj Saeed Al-Harden, 24. So a 23 and a 24-year-old Iraqi refugee. Let me guess, they were single too, right? Now, Al-Jayab is a Palestinian who came to the United States from his birthplace of Iraq in 2012 as a refugee. Well, he was in Iraq. Between November 2013 and January 2014, Al-Jayab allegedly reported on social media that he was in Syria fighting with various terrorist organizations, including Ansar al-Islam, a designated foreign terrorist organization since 2004. Authorities said the news outlet reported that he returned to the United States on January 23, 2014, and settled in Sacramento, California. Hey, I'm going to assume, hey, Sacramento, literally just dodged a bullet. I'm not being facetious on this. Here you have this 23-year-old Palestinian Iraqi refugee of fighting age, of radicalization age. He claims that he was doing something that, would get an American arrested immediately. And yet he gets to come back into the country and settle in Sacramento. How does that make any sense? Think about that for a second. He's not a citizen, but he gets to tout all the stuff that he claims to be doing over there in the fight for Islam, and then he gets to actually re-enter the United States and settle in an American city. Over a year goes by before the feds catch up and say, hey, you're under arrest. How much damage do you think he's done in that year since he's been back from whence he came? Now, he's just one of thousands. He's one of thousands and thousands more that Barack Hussein Obama wants to bring into the United States for one reason or another. It doesn't make any sense, folks. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And, it's beyond the support of supporting, trying to being a human being. It's way beyond that. This is just, this is beyond insane. This is purposeful. This is purposeful and willful destruction of the American society, the American way of life, and the American people. It's purposeful destruction. I don't know what else to say or call it. But our current president is not the president of the United States. I don't know who. He's not representing the people of this country. He's representing somebody, but it isn't the American people. And we'll be lucky to survive the next 12 months. Speaking of 12 months, are you wanting to say no to your health insurance and not be penalized with a mandated tax under the Affordable Care Act? I mean, all of us are. Nobody wants to pay higher premiums for insurance if we don't have to. Nobody wants to pay a fine for not getting something that is so personal as health coverage. Now, the government wants you to think that you don't have a choice and that you will be severely punished for not having health insurance. Simply because you're alive, it is your obligation, according to this government today, that you pay for somebody else's health care via inflated health insurance premiums and inflated health insurance deductibles. So basically, the government has got you over a barrel, and they have made you a slave to the state, literally. And they're saying either you pay out for your health insurance coverage or you pay up via fines and penalties. That's essentially what's being said. But folks, there is a great way to say hell no. Hell no. And you can still get away with it. Now, they may have, in the future, unless they totally repeal this stupid law, they may close some of these loopholes, especially if you got the wrong president in office. But right now, you can say hell no, and you can still get away with it. But you got to visit www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com to find out more on how you can do it. Again, you got to go to www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com and find out how you can say hell no to the two choices that you have been given, either pay out or pay up. And say hell no and be able to get away with it legally. That's www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com. freedomone13.com. Get the information, make the decision for yourself, and once you have, you can point your finger on your nose up at the government, and give them the wonderful hello sign. I'm the number one sign with one of your fingers. You can do that still. And get away with it. Well, we still got a little bit of freedom in this country. I mean, there are people who are trying to take. I just saw a survey where most Americans believe that freedom of speech should be hateful speech should be curtailed on college campuses. What the hell is hate speech? I don't know. Nobody can define what hate speech is. It could be construed as being any. Hey, that guy hurt my feelings because he disparaged my favorite football team because he likes another team. That's hate speech. I mean, that's some people may think I'm being kind of silly about it, but no, that can be construed as what. Look what people are trying to arrest people for in Europe about hate speech. You can't say anything about Muslims now in certain European countries. No, because that's insightful. That's hateful. You can say anything you want about a Christian, and say even more than that about a Jew, but for crying out, you can't say anything negative, mean, nasty, truthful about a Muslim or an Islamist. I mean, this is just, and now they want to bring that kind of crap to the United States. Yeah, we got the First Amendment. Oh no, let's just amend that, or even basically, hell, they've had fake petitions going around on college campuses about getting rid of the First Amendment, and people have been signing it, which would mean that they would actually be getting rid of their right to even have that petition that they're signing. Stupidity, yes.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Here on the Rod Eccles Show. I am, of course, your lovable host, Rod, and I am, of course, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great grand state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is still, live free or die. It is not big government or bust. And yes, I did check again today, and it hasn't changed. I know they're probably out there still trying because as I said before, people seem to outside of the New England area, they kind of like the state motto. They're not negative on it. They don't view it as something being negative. You got a bunch of Democrats running around here thinking that live free or die, man. That's negative and that's just terrible. And people think that we're these stupid Yankees that hunker down and no, people don't. They actually kind of like the fact that we'll stick to our beliefs of freedom. The interesting thing is that here we're in the United States. New England is a place where the country got started. The thought and the birth of the country got started here in New England. I mean, the shot heard around the world at Lexington and Concord Bridge. The Boston Tea Party, all that kind of stuff. There is a tremendous amount of American history in this region. And yet this region, the vast majority of it has been taken over by a bunch of liberals who are now ashamed of that American history. I find it really kind of interesting, if you will. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. If you are, can you be ashamed of your own history? Why would you? It's not like we're well. I know that the American history is not all perfect. There are some dark spots in history. With any civilization, there's always some dark spots. Some civilizations, like the Nazis, that's all it was dark. But we attempted, at least throughout our history, we've seen where we've attempted to try to take some of the dark spots of our past and to brighten them up. I mean, sometimes it's taken us a while, but I don't see any other nation on the planet really, truly trying to better itself and its people by changing what they don't like about their past. I mean, not changing the past, but changing, slavery. Yeah, we had to go to war to end it, but once we did, there were people in this country that fought for over 100 years to make sure that it would never, ever happen again and try to make everybody in the country equal, have equality. What other country has done that? And we didn't do it in a way that says, well, now you can't say this and you can't do that. No, we just said that everybody deserves a shot, an equal shot. And now, we've gone from a slave-owning country, to having a president who's black, he's not descended from former slaves. That would be something different. And, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, I do believe that they have slave descendants in their families, in their past. And I've always brought this up, and I still haven't gotten an answer. Why is it that Barack Obama was so wonderful? I mean, after all, we know for a fact he's half white. He's not. Well, there is a specific definition for mulatto, which does not fit Obama simply because his father was not 100% black African. But if you want to go to the model of being, loosely terming somebody as a mulatto, which is not a bad term. I know some people think that it's terrible. No, it's not. It just describes a particular ethnic background. If you want to go to the loose term of mulatto, that would be Barack Hussein Obama. So he's not an African American. He's half black. He's half African, and he's half American. But he's not what we would normally term as being African American. That is not Barack Hussein Obama. However, that's Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. They're not half white or anything like. As far as I know, they're 100% African American, and all that entails. But they were never looked upon very seriously by the white liberals in the white liberal establishment as being clean and articulate. Those are Biden's words, by the way. Why in all that time did not the Democratic Party hold up Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson as such a wonderful example of African Americans rising to the occasion? Well, how did it come about that it was Barack Hussein Obama? Because maybe he was half white? No, he wasn't 100% African American. He wasn't African American at all, but he wasn't 100% African American even if he was. He's just half. He was half white. He had a white mom and he grew up in Hawaii and in a foreign country called Malaysia. And his grandparents were white. His grandparents were communist, and his mother had communist sympathies. And she hung around with blacks. She hung around with radical blacks, like Malcolm X and things like that. But his mom had a masculine name like Stanley. Is that I don't know if Jesse Jackson's mom had a masculine sounding name, would that have been better? I can't get an answer from liberals on this. Why is it, or how is it? Barack Obama, when you hear him speak, he doesn't sound any more articulate or better than Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, really. He really does. He doesn't have, he's still got an act. I'm still wondering where Barack Obama got that stupid urban accent. He grew up in Hawaii, for crying out loud. How many black urbans was he hanging around in Hawaii to get that stupid accent? I mean, that's like somebody who was born and raised in the North for 50 years, going down south and all of a sudden speaking in a Georgia Southern drawl. I mean, that's just fake and phony as can be. Well, so Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, they have a slight urban accent. Whatever you want to call it, they have it. So is that why obviously couldn't be why Joe Biden said that, Barack Obama was the first clean and intelligent and articulate black man that he's seen running for office, because they just skipped over Jesse and Al. I don't care what you think of them. I don't really think highly of those two men. In fact, I think they should be ashamed of themselves, because I know Jesse Jackson walked with Martin Luther King. He was on his right-hand side all the time. He should know exactly what Martin Luther King Jr. would stand for, and it's nothing that Jesse Jackson is standing for now. But here you have Jesse Jackson, a true civil rights worker and marcher, and he's not clean and articulate enough to be president, but Barack Hussein Obama is, and he's being termed clean and articulate by another old white guy. And I'm not trying to bring race but I am trying to point out this is the left. The left are the racists. They have been racist since day one, and they're still racist, but they're pointing the finger at the Republicans. Republicans are not saying, well, you got to be clean and articulate if you're going to be black in order to run. No, they embrace everyone. It's hell. They're trying to embrace everyone so much that they're even trying to get liberals to come in as liberals. I don't know how you can. I don't know how that's racist or bigoted in any manner. Well, come on, just join the Republican Party. We're cool. We're the big tent. But here you have the wonderful left, who are the biggest racists on the planet, pointing fingers at everybody else, saying that everybody else is racist, when they're the ones that are making race an issue at every chance they get. And instead of doing the right thing and probably propping up somebody who probably wasn't qualified, frankly, I think Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are probably just as qualified as Barack Obama to be president, which means that they're not qualified, but, just as qualified as he is. So why didn't they support him or either one of those two? Okay, maybe you were too bigoted about Al Sharpton because he was once fat. Jesse Jackson wasn't fat. Jesse Jackson was in the inner circle of Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights icon. I mean, why not? Why couldn't you support Jesse Jackson for president? Because I'm telling you again, the whole point is that Barack Hussein Obama, if you really listen to them, they do not consider Barack Obama as being African American. Even though Barack Obama tries to run around and say that he hates his white half, which is really kind of interesting. I hate white people. And he's half white. So I don't understand it, but they know that he's not an African American. They know this. You rarely hear the left call Barack Obama African American. Really. That's not how they view him. You got to pay attention and listen to what these people say and what they don't say. There's no reading between the lines. It's just paying attention. They're pretty damn clear. Just saying about that. I mean, think about this. And next time you're talking to people about Barack Obama, just the Americans are right. Well, really, Americans. How come you didn't nominate Jesse Jackson when you had the chance? Ask him point blank. I guarantee you won't be able to get an honest answer. Well, Americans weren't ready. Really? How do you know? You didn't make him your Democratic nominee, so we'll never know if the rest of the American public was ready for Jesse Jackson to be president or not. You guys didn't support him. They didn't. The Democratic Party did not support Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton. They did not. In fact, there were times back when Jesse Jackson was running that he complained that the Democratic Party was running against him. Kind of like Bernie Sanders is doing right now. But the difference is that Bernie Sanders is an old, white, grumpy, curmudgeon uncle from New England and not a black guy. Where are the blacks this time around in running for president in the Democratic Party? Where's the diversity over there? I mean, out of all the serious contenders, well, you had two middle-aged white guys already drop out. You got a third one who probably should drop out because nobody knows anything about him because they hardly hear anything about O'Malley. He's another middle-aged white guy. And now you got an old white guy and an old white woman. Where is the diversity over there? Here you have the party that is touted as bringing to the forefront the first black president of the United States. That's what they call him, not African American. The first black president of the United States, Barack Obama. And they should be saying first half black, but the first mixed race, first mulatto president. But you would think that they would want to build on it. Their building is to make the first woman the president in Hillary Clinton. Where's the diversity? I mean, if this was the case of the Democratic Party, if they were so flippant diversified and believed in diversity, you don't think that they'd be encouraging other ethnic. Where's the first Asian American? Who's the first Asian running for president? How come the Democrats don't have an Asian? Why don't the Democrats have an Indian from India running? The Republicans had one. Why don't the Democrats have a couple of strong women? I mean, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, I know she's an airhead from California, but why didn't she run? Why don't we have an African American woman running over there? I mean, that's one way to up the ante over Barack. Have an African American woman. You want to make some strides. How about having the first female president and the first black female president in one person? Or first African-American president in one person? Because you got the first black president, but how about the first African-American president who's also a female? First black female president. Killed two birds with one stone, and that where's the African-American female? on the Democratic side? Why is it we only have a choice between two old white men and an old white woman on the Democratic side? Hell, the Republicans fully diversified. You have old and young white guys. You got a fat guy. You got a couple of Latinos, an Indian, a woman, a black guy, well, African American. From all walks of life. I mean, yeah, you got a businessman do you have business people on the Democrat side? No, they were all career politicians. On the Republican side, what you got? You got some businessmen, you got some politicians, you got some doctors, and well, a businesswoman too. There's diversity there. Some governors, some senators. Where's the diversity on the Democratic side? The party that's supposed to be so inclusive and so diverse. There is no diversity. There's none. Obama admits that he's never owned a gun. So he's out there running, trying to take everybody else's gun. But WND.com is reporting Obama admits, I've never owned a gun. But the president says executive actions are respectful of the Second Amendment. I don't. President Obama admitted yesterday that he has never owned a gun in his life. And then he proceeded to tell more than 300 million Americans why the federal government should do more to restrict their rights to own one. Now, Obama made his case for gun control in that stupid nationally televised town hall meeting held 2 days after his fake tear-filled announcement of 10 new executive actions he believes will slash gun violence. None of them would have. None. You try to ask, how would keeping guns from law-abiding citizens have stopped all the gun violence in places like Chicago? It wouldn't have. Why was he crying over the kids at Sandy Hook? A bunch of let me be blunt. A bunch of white kids in a rich suburban town in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. He shed tears over. All of those black inner city poor kids in Chicago that have lost their lives, far outnumbering the number at Sandy Hook, not a single tear, not even a single mention. You gotta. I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that these people just do not have a mental illness. Who does that? Hey, get away, but tear away. Because every time I think about Sandy Hook, it makes me mad. Oh, well, Mr. President, how about Chicago? Chicago's in the news almost every week because they've had a bloody weekend. And multiple people are shot, wounded, and killed, and many of them are children, innocent children. And the guns that are used are illegally gained guns. Nobody's buying these guns legally. This is a town that has some of the toughest gun laws on the planet, let alone in the United States. And people are still dying by the thousands every year in Chicago due to gun violence. There is, well, we already know that there are studies out there and statistics that show that people are killed by other means more than guns every year. I mean, more people are killed on the car accidents than there are by guns. Unless, of course, you're in Chicago. If you're in Chicago, you're more likely probably to die by a bullet than die by being in a car accident. Just saying. By an illegal bullet. There's but Obama does say that he's never owned a gun. He's never had one, and he says that he doesn't plan on ever having one. I mean, we've seen a few photo ops of him shooting a rifle. He was shooting one, I think it was a target skeet rifle, shotgun, with his left hand. It was he had it holding. I don't know if he was doing it properly, because I'm not a lefty, but he looked kind of awkward in this picture that I saw. He looked kind of awkward, but he says. This goes to show who wears the pants in the family. But Barack says that Michelle Obama would want a gun to protect her family if we lived in a rural area. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Do you realize what the president just said? He said that if his family lived in rural America, that his wife would want a gun to protect the family. His wife. Where do these people come from? Where do they come from? How do you tell the American people that if you lived in a rural area, that your own wife, not you, your wife would want a gun, but you want to take guns from people who live in rural America? These people are absolutely insane. Just insane. And frankly, a little bit
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is Ben Gordon with Power Swabs, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Start training for a new career in as little as 18 days. National EMS Institute's innovative boot camp program will train you for a new career. Learn to respond to emergency situations and become a certified EMT in just 18 days. National EMS Institute guarantees 100% job placement. Visit www.nationaleMSinstitute.com today to learn more about our 18-day boot camp. Or call us at 1-800-497-6732. NationalEMSInstitute.com.
Stuck in a boring, low-paid job? By 2017, there will be a shortage of 2 million cybersecurity jobs worldwide. If you have a technical background but don't have a computer certification, you are being drastically underpaid. In months, you could be qualified for a new job in information technology, making real money with real job security. A new career is just a few clicks away at thecodeoflearning.com.
Bring the rain.
Here on the Rod Eccles Show. Can you believe 3 hours? I mean, almost. This just flies by. I love this time frame. I really do. I mean, because it is right in the beginning of the day. I can get you guys going. I know on the Freedom Friday stuff, now everybody's probably really, looking for the weekend, and you still got a half a work day ahead of you. I apologize. Well, I don't apologize for that, but just for the liberals. I apologize for making you anticipate celebrating your freedom over the weekend. Last night, I began binge watching something on Netflix, and I still have like four or five episodes to go, so I'll probably finish it tonight. I mean, I was up until 3 o'clock binge watching this program on Netflix, and then I was up at 7 a.m. this morning preparing to bring you this wonderful show. This well-prepared, every day. I mean, I talk about the frustrations of having to read and watch video in preparation for this program on a daily basis, but I'm having a ball with this. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm having a ball because I'm just so humbled by all this. I mean, it is just, even my mom, who's not really into politics, she's an old Air Force. I learned something about my father, by the way, last night. I was talking to my mother. As most of you know, that my father, a more than 20-year, nearly 21-year vet of the United States Air Force, retired Master Sergeant, passed away this past August. And he passed away due to the negligence of the VA, frankly. But there are other underlying issues because of, he was in Vietnam and he was exposed to Agent Orange and a few other things that has since come to light that there are health problems with vets who are exposed to that kind of stuff. And he had those health problems that they said that vets were going to have with that stuff, but they still didn't do anything. They waited and waited and waited until it was too late to do anything. And of course, our family, we tried our damnedest to try to get things sped up, but you're dealing with the huge bureaucracy of the VA. From the top down, is just we don't care about the vets. It's really what it is. And so in August, we lost them at the age of 75. But my mom has been going through, over these past few months, she's been going through my dad's, they've had, 54 years of life together. And she was going through some of his papers and stuff. And some of his, and just going through the house. The house is just, you wouldn't recognize a military family's house if you walked into my parents' house, because it's probably because they've lost so much over the years in the military. Stuff just being lost or stolen. I mean, they've probably had today be worth thousands of dollars in vinyl records that were stolen over various moves that we've had. But, and other stuff just went conveniently missing. But she was going over through some stuff, and she said she found some papers written in a particular language that my mom could not read. Now, my mom could speak this, but she couldn't read it. Yeah, it's Greek. But my dad was, he could read and write in Greek, which is, I didn't realize that he was that fluent in it, but he was. And she was trying to explain to me about all this stuff, and it came to my mind all of a sudden realizing where my dad was while we were stationed in Athens, Greece, where he worked, the facility that he worked in, and what he did after that, where he worked towards the end of his military career. And what he... Come to find out, my dad was... he started his career out in flying in B-52s, being a navigator, a gunner, bombardier, and then a navigator. He was a navigator. He was a navigator in B-52s during the Vietnam War era. My dad was also he was a left-handed person, but he was also he went to a college to be an art teacher. He was a fantastic artist. The man could draw. He had unbelievable talent in art. But what he did afterwards, my father was in military intelligence. I never knew it until last night. But my mother and I, we were talking about all this, and we were starting to put two and two together. My dad was in military. He was so good at military keeping secrets that we didn't even know as his family that what his real MOS, military occupational standard, was. He was in military intelligence for at least half of his military career. Unbelievable. I kind of laughed about it and thought, well, my mom was like, well, yeah, I just put the papers back. I don't know what any of that stuff means. I can't read it. And I'm like, well, okay. It's all kind of useless now anyway. I mean, you're talking stuff that was written down in the early 70s. I'm sure none of it's classified anymore, even if it was back then. But it just come to the realization of where he worked, where he was stationed, and what he said that he did within those installations. We started to put the pieces together, and we realized that Master Sergeant Robert Eccles was military intelligence. Interesting. You see, even when you think you know your own family, sometimes they surprise you in a good way. Just one of those things, just one of those things. But I've been watching this program on Netflix. It just started. I just started binging it last night, and I still got it's a total of 10 episodes I see, and I made it through episode 6. Or so, and partway through episode 7, but at 3:00, I figured, well, geez, I better get to bed so I can get some sleep, so I can be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed for all you people this Friday morning. But it is not what I originally thought it was by looking at the title and the description. Making a murderer. If you have, I'm not going to give away any of this. All I'm going to say is that if you have not heard about it, or I don't know how you've not heard about it, because everybody's talking about it. This is why I decided, well, okay, I better see what everybody's talking about and watch this. And I got hooked. And I'm going to tell you, it is not what the title would suggest. But at the same time, it's exactly what the title suggests. Because I thought it was going to be about a particular person, what his childhood was like, and how he became crazed, and he was a mass murderer and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I originally, and that's how they made it sound originally. But as you watch this, you realize it has nothing to do with that, but it is about turning somebody and making them into a murderer. Now, I still have got about 4 episodes to go until I figure out exactly what the hell is going on. But up until this point, I'm telling you, if you watch this, I don't care what side of the law enforcement aisle that you are on, even if you are a cop, you are going to be incensed by this program. You're going to be incensed by the level of potential corruption of politicians. Folks, this happened, we're talking mid-2000s up to 2012, 13. This is not, this is a documentary, actually, that took a decade to make, more than a decade to make. And we're going back from it starts in 2001, 2002, or 3, and it works its way. And you are going to be incensed by the public servant corruption that is taking place. But this is something that's happening every single day, not just in poor backwater rural Wisconsin to white people, but it's happening in the inner city to poor blacks and poor whites daily. People are being railroaded for political expediency and to help influence and inflate somebody's political career. The bad thing about this is that nobody seems to think it's so bad, that it is so easy to do, that is one of the first things they think about. Well, if I'm going to move up in this political world, I'm just going to frame a few people. Get rid of my competition or make a name for myself by doing this. Can't do it. You can't write. This is a naturally occurring story, a real life story. I'm watching this and thinking, wait a minute, am I watching a fictional movie here? Mystery? Or I have to keep reminding myself that this is real life. This is a documentary on real life. Now, I know some people say, well, it's how the documentators filmed it, Rod. Look, I get the bias potential. But I'm telling you, there's no other way to film this. There's no other way to cut this, on the editing floor. This is, no matter how you look at it, from whatever angle, even if you are a fascist that is trying to be, like a Nazi and bring forth, nothing but wonderful big government, you're going to have a hard time making putting a positive spin on this one. Just saying. If you have not watched Making a Murderer, the weekend's here. The perfect timing for you to binge watch this. Go ahead and do it. I highly recommend it because it has gripped me, and I will probably be trying to watch the last few episodes to see what actually. I know that some people are probably very familiar with the story, especially if you live in Wisconsin. I'm not familiar with the story. I don't know how I didn't hear about it or miss it, but I'm not familiar with it, so I don't know anything about it. But I can see that this is not limited to where this took place. Not at all. This is what we have going on in Washington, D.C. right now. Political corruption run rampant. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just political corruption run rampant. There's nothing else to say that you can say about it. It's terrible. And it just shows how easy it is to expeditiously get rid of, in this country, your political opponent. How easy it can be. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just sad. Because that's not America. That should not, that cannot be America. But the reality is that it is America. It is the climate of our politics right now. And that is really, really not only scary, but sad. It's probably more scary than sad, but it's scary and it's sad. What else is sad, believe it or not, is the fact that people who signed up for the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, are paying $500 or more a month for a deductible that's in the tens of thousands of dollars annually and lifetime. That's right. They're paying $500 or more a month. And the government wants you to think that you don't have a choice but to pay that extra. I mean, how many times have you heard, yeah, my premiums went from like $700 a month to $2,000 a month for health insurance? Well, why would you be forced to do that? And why would your government want to bankrupt you? You know, we talk about people not having money, and one of the things is you know, with taxes, raising tax. But this is another way that government does it, by making life more expensive for you and I, for the average American citizen. You think that taxing the rich is going to fix this? It's not, because the government is making life, basic everyday life, more expensive. If you are used to paying $700 a month for your health insurance, and now it has been more than doubled, where does that money come from? You're not making more money at your employer or at your job, but yet you still got to cover it. Because if you don't, the government is making you think that you don't have a choice. It's making you think you don't have a choice. Obamacare makes it appear that either you pay out or you pay up. And that if you don't pay up, eventually they're going to throw you in jail. How are we? You know what? You want to talk about over-incarceration of people. What's going to happen when we start throwing people in jail because they cannot or will not pay their fine for not having a product called health insurance? There is a better way out, however. You don't have to pay those outrageous tax fines and those outrageous monthly fees and monthly premiums. But you got to visit www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com. That's www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com to avoid being punished with a tax fine or daring to say no to the high insurance premium rates. Again, that's stopobamacaretaxnow.com. Exercise your God-given right to decide your own family's destiny and get control of your own finances again. You know, because this is just absolutely insane what they're trying to force Americans to do. And I don't know why it's taken you know, the Congress so long to figure out that just to repeal it. Forget this repeal or replace. No, but until we can get some strong, you know, people in office with some big brass kahunas to actually force the president and everybody else in the government to repeal this monstrosity of an outrageous law, just go to stopobamacaretaxnow.com. Exercise your rights, because if you don't exercise them, you know, like anything else, you're going to lose them. So that's what you need to do. Go to that website, get some information, learn about your alternatives, because you do have a choice, even if they tell you you don't. You do. You always have a choice. Not gonna lie, you always got a choice. Choices are due to freedom. See, when you don't have freedom, you don't have a choice. But you do have a choice. So hitting over here now to the, by the way, EPA chief. The EPA chief says you can't predict the future, future climate. Now, are we being told all the time that, there's dire consequences to man-made global climate change? Man-made global cooling. Oh, no, wait. Man-made global warming. Oh, no, wait. Man-made global climate change. See, whatever happens in the climate or the weather, it's man's fault. But look, I'm surprised we haven't heard anybody. Well, they are blaming us. There are people out the earthquake storm in Oklahoma. There are people out there blaming fracking, even though this fracking might not even is not happening anywhere near along any fault line that is now affecting Oklahoma. It's fracking everywhere. Fracking is the reason why the Fukushima thing happened. Well, there's no fracking over there. But EPA chief says that climate change is certain, but you can't predict the future. How can you say it's certain, but you can't predict it? Now, when she was asked yesterday about federal data showing that fossil fuels will provide about 80% of the world's energy needs through 2040 and that the U.S. carbon emissions are at the lowest levels that they've been in decades, the Environmental Protection Agency Administrator, the EPA, Administrator Gina McCarthy, she said that it's impossible to predict the future. But aren't they telling us that if we don't do certain things, if we don't charge and tax the hell out of people who are using energy, consuming energy, that the planet is going to burn up? Oh, but you can't predict what's going to happen because everything is going the opposite direction of what they've been saying. And so now they're saying, well, you can't predict it. But they've been predicting that there was the end of the world as we know it. And each time the deadline passes, they're like, oh, well, it's because we fixed certain things or we've calmed down certain things or curtailed certain things. But at the same time, they're telling us that, at one point, it doesn't matter if we stop polluting right now. Not one more drop of pollution gets in the air. We can't stop whatever's going to happen over the next 100 years. So if we can't stop it and reverse it, then are we really the cause of it? So, but she's saying that you can't predict the future. Why do we put up with this? I don't know why we put up with this kind of crap. It's just absolutely insane. So, according to the Energy Information Administration, although alternative and renewables are growing slightly, fossil fuels will still account for about 80% of U.S. energy needs through 2040. Wait, I thought the president was getting rid of. There was a meme that was going around showing about all the. It was like 10. It's showing 10,000 miles of new pipelines being built in the United States since Obama took office, and this was supposed to be to refute the fact that Obama was against the Keystone XL pipeline. Now, the problem is with all those new pipelines, none of them are bringing any of the energy, like oil, down from Canada. There's no new pipeline going from that area of Canada carrying oil down to the Gulf. None. There's no none. But the interesting thing is that not George Soros, but Warren Buffett owns the rail lines and railroad systems that go from Canada to the Gulf that transport the oil via railroad. And that if you had this wonderful, huge pipeline transporting that oil, that would cut into the rail system profits. And we know Obama is very much beholden to Warren Buffett for a number of different things. So there, once again, it's all about follow the money. Right? Follow the money. Lastly, we have all this wonderful stuff about Hillary Clinton being... by the way, the government's been sending Obamacare payments out without verifying. We'll try to get into that on Monday. And 17% of jobs now, people actually working, 17% are held by immigrants. And yet we have 94 million Americans out of work. We're talking citizens here, out of work. But 17, and they keep raising the limit of the H-1B1 visas, forcing more Americans out of work. I don't know. And we've had a recent switch in the dietary recommendations from the federal government, again, because they don't know anything, but they keep dictating how we should be eating. And now they're telling us how we should be doing business and how to exercise. They're saying that you should have, just so you know, the feds are encouraging businesses to switch their meetings to walking meetings in order to fight obesity. That's right. Instead of sitting down in a conference table, start walking around the office with your meetings in order to fight obesity. I kid you not. And finally, this whole notion about Hillary Clinton, these wonderful charges are coming up pretty soon. You know when I'll believe it? I'll believe it when I see her in cuffs and I see a mugshot. That's when I believe that they'll actually start taking action. Because I don't think they're going to take. I'm not buying it. I'm not. Obama, for whatever reason, is going to block it. That's what that meeting in the golf course between him and Clinton was all about. Somehow they came to the meeting of the minds and an agreement, gentleman's agreement, that they were going to protect Hillary. That's the truth. Well, folks, we're out of time for today and for the week. We will be back here. So have a wonderful weekend. Until then, enjoy your freedom while you still got it. I'm Rod Eccles. This has been the Rod Eccles Show. I'm out.